What's up, guys? Another week of Philo Fantasy, episode 5, season 1, and it's NFL game day week. Week 1 this week. Super excited about that. Where you at, Taylor? How excited are you on a scale of like 1 to infinity?
I'm pumped. I'm up there. I'm way up there. I
Way
love
up,
it.
all the way up.
All the way up. Nothing could stop me. Yeah, no, I'm loving
Fat
it.
Joe.
It's back. We're here. Yeah, there's no better feeling, man. Football season starting. Fall's right around the corner. We're feeling good. We're feeling real good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with that, everybody's going to be excited about their teams, obviously. We do have some big news to talk about that happened this week. Specifically today, we should probably touch on the injury that came out about Travis Kelce. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about that, but that's some big time news that we definitely want to talk about. Other things, Scary Terry limited at practice today. Good sign. Hopefully, he can be trending in the right direction for a return soon. Who else do we got, Taylor?
Um, some notables. Cooper Cup. He is out for week 1. That is
Oh,
some
officially.
Yeah, he is
Oh,
officially out.
word.
That is some factual information there. He will be out of
Sucks.
there. JSN, he is playing week
Holy
1.
crap.
So you were right.
That's amazing, dude. Yeah.
You were right.
So they said when the injury happened that the surgery wasn't anything crazy and that he could potentially play week 1. And then, of course, Schefter comes out with his information and didn't really sound super optimistic, but that's definitely great for JSN. I don't know how much usage we'll see from him week 1, especially coming off of that. They may kind of ease him in. But I think as the season progresses, he's going to be a huge part of that offense.
Yeah. If you've seen any of our other episodes, you know how much I love this kid and how much I think he can accomplish and will accomplish this season. So, yeah, that's big. He gets to start his rapport with his quarterback early on. So yeah, that's a big one. Something else, Joshua Dobbs is 100% the starter for Arizona
Dope.
going against Washington
Saw that
week
coming.
1. So yeah. So
Yeah,
he
saw
is
that
going to
coming.
be week 1 starter.
Nice. Well, good luck to him. Hopefully he plays well while he gets the chance. Last one, Kenny Galladay works out for the Jets.
Yeah.
Tell me another thing I don't give a fuck about.
No, yeah, it doesn't really do that much for me, but worked out for the Jets. So any Galladay truthers, if there's any still left out in the world?
Oh, there's somebody. There's
Yeah,
somebody. There's somebody in our leagues right now that's like, should I pick him up?
he's gonna be a sleeper. He's gonna be a really big sleeper.
Hey.
All right, so let's move into which one you want to do. You want to do the
We always do
Philo?
Amber Heard. We always do Amber Heard early on. We'll knock that. Actually, no, we usually wait on Amber Heard. We'll do the Amber Heard Award early this week. Wake you guys up.
Yeah, let's do it. You want to go first? You want me to go
Sure.
first?
Yeah. So maybe the most exciting part of my weekend was watching Colorado. They're quite the show on the football field, and specifically Travis Hunter, who was just incredible. Like, I don't know that I've ever. It's been a really long time since I've had that much fun watching a college football player. I think back to Devin Hester. I think back to Sean Taylor. And of course, I watched a lot of the Hurricanes growing up, being a Hurricanes fan. But that's really the last I can think of that I had that much fun watching a college football game. So, who shit the bed this week? The TCU fan that told Travis Hunter that he was overrated before the game. Travis Hunter acknowledged him. If you haven't seen the videos, it's quite hilarious. And basically told him, all right, dude, watch this. And went out and balled the fuck out.
Yeah, he literally like looked at him and was like, "All right, stay tuned, motherfucker."
Yeah, dude, how
What an
hard is
idiot.
that, bro? Like,
A TCU fan's a fucking idiot.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
Idiot. I bet he feels like an idiot now for sure.
He shit the bed for sure. Amber Heard Award to you, bud.
Yep. Good job, dumbass.
Yeah. Mine's a little more simple. I'm gonna go with Jake Hayner. Jake, you're getting the Amber Heard Award, bud. You're fighting to get on a roster, right? You make it. You get there. You look pretty decent. I know, Austin. I know you like that kid a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but he gets suspended for 6 games for PEDs. 6 games,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
I just feel like you shit the bed on that one because he's he's so new. You can't do that. You just can't do that. That's not good.
Yeah, I don't know
Bad
the
luck.
circumstances or the specifics behind it, but I will say I think that I don't know, man. Everybody's towing the line, right? Everybody's trying to toe that line where they're not getting caught, right? They know the rules. But NFL, man, 6 games for this. Alvin Kamara beat the shit out of some bitch. No, actually, I think it was a dude.
It was a dude.
That was a
Shouldn't have
dude.
been talking shit.
Yeah, no, but he beat somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? And he got what, like 3/4 suspended. He don't
3
can't
games.
play the full game. Oh, 3 games. Yeah,
Yeah, you got 3
Same
games.
thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Should have just let him play at halftime week 1. Out here, just
I don't
beating
think guys
people's
should be.
ass.
I don't think guys should be suspended for throwing some hands. Fuck it. If
Yeah,
they get
but-
hurt, they get hurt. That's on them. Your
That's
body is your that's your paycheck right there, and you're playing with fire. If you want to go play with fire and throw some hands, whatever. But
Well, this feels like the NFL saying drugs are bad. Okay.
drugs are bad. They're very bad. All right.
Yeah, I don't
All
know,
right.
man. 6 games, and then I don't know the circumstances behind it. I can't shit on the guy too hard, but yeah, it does suck that you're missing time your rookie season. All these opportunities are important.
Yes. All right. So here we go. We're gonna transition into first in, last out. Philo.
Yo, let's do it.
Yeah. So first
We finally
in,
get to do it, man. Like we finally get to do our first real fucking
the
Philo
real one.
segment.
The real one. So first in, these are going to be the guys that you're not really thinking about, the guys that can be your flex option. These are going to be the guys that aren't necessarily the big names, the Christian McCaffreys, all that good stuff. These are going to be just your flex guys. And I'm going to start out with a guy, not necessarily a flex guy, but he is someone who you can put in the flex, I guess. Jake Ferguson, tight end from Dallas. You could put him in the flex, but also if you're really struggling at the tight end position, you need a tight end. I know I just made a trade with you in our 14-man league to get Ferguson because I was lacking on the tight end position there.
I didn't want to trade him to you. I just did it to be nice. Fucking asshole.
Well, hey, it was a good offer. So
it was a good offer, sure. Whatever.
But yeah, Jake Ferguson, definitely. Dak Prescott has a history of throwing to his tight ends at a high volume. Just because there's going to be a different play caller doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go away from that tactic. He is going to have a lot more control over the offense himself as well in the play calling and stuff like that. And I do believe that tight end position is a security blanket of some sorts for him. So I feel like he's going to continue that trend. All reports have shown that Jake Ferguson he's taken over that tight end 1 role in camp and in the preseason games. So he's going to be that dude, and he's going to come out and he's going to give a little slap to the Giants defense.
I think you said it best. You hit the nail on the head. Nobody likes a tight end better than Dak Prescott.
Get it?
No, in all seriousness, I was a big fan of Ferguson coming out of college, man. He's dope. He's done for real. All right, all right.
He likes that tight end.
Yeah, he does too, dude. Have you ever seen him? Have you ever seen him pregame when he's doing that thing with his hip? He loves that shit. All right, I'm gonna go with a guy who's a bigger name, and we got to talk about it. Javonte Williams, running back from Denver. I just looked in my draft results in a redraft league that I was in. A lot of respectable guys. No, I wouldn't necessarily say every single person in there's a 100% expert, but a lot of guys who've been playing fantasy football for a long time and know their way around. We'll talk about some other players on this list later, but I do want to highlight that Javonte Williams was taken in the 7th round. I think that's pretty late for a running back who has as much upside as he does. I get it, the health concerns, like everybody's scared of that, and then apparently people are really worried about Perine, which fucking blows my mind. Sean Payton says Javonte Williams is going to have a big role in Week 1. And this sort of puts a damper around all the hype that was, getting started about Perine. It started to gain some steam as we move closer to the season. People start to wonder if maybe Perine is a sleeper in your fantasy draft, somebody to pick up who might see a lot of run this year, and he may still do that. But I think Javonte Williams is and was, nothing has changed, significantly better than Perine, in my opinion. I kind of hold him in the same regard that I hold Najee. There's layers to this, right? Like the NFL is a business. And so Javonte Williams, he sells more, right? Perine's exciting. He's a hard worker. Love Perine. No disrespect. Javonte's it though, man, in Denver. And that never changed for me. And I'm glad to see that Sean Payton recognizes that. It sounds like he's going to have him, doing a lot of work Week 1, a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Payton's a really smart coach. You know what I mean? He tries to utilize his superstars as much as possible, and he tries to get the ball in their hands as much as possible. Kamara, Michael Thomas, guys like that. When they were on the field, he tried to get them the ball as much as possible. So Javonte is one of those guys that you have to get the ball in his hands if he's healthy, and you have to get him, as many tutties as possible.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing for this offense, to be honest, to have two guys that you can trust to run out there. Again, all of this, like, no disrespect to Perine, because he's going to be a serviceable runner, and we've seen Sean Payton do that before with Mark Ingram, where Mark Ingram was a serviceable runner, he was effective. Sean Payton knew exactly how to use him. I think you'll see a lot of that with Perine too, where maybe there are two running backs that are doing really well. And that takes a whole lot of pressure off of Russell Wilson to have to kind of do everything. I think it's going to be better all around for this offense. But overall, I still think this offense struggles as long as Russell Wilson's the quarterback.
Yeah, because Russell Wilson is fucking ass.
Yeah, boy.
Can't throw the ball.
Yeah, I was going to say. So, yeah, Javonte, though, Week 1, he's going to be a must start for me, and especially going against the Raiders defense. I'm not really so sure that the Raiders defense worries me a lot in terms of, just run defense.
Yep. And let's see, my number 2, first in. It's going to be a little bit of a shock to some people, but I'm going to say Kenneth Gainwell. Again, this is if you're looking for a guy that, in redraft leagues, he could be on the waiver. Potentially. He is the number 2 back in Philly right now. He's been looking really good in camp and throughout this entire offseason process. He's been out there quite a bit. He's been a part of the program this entire time instead of the other 2 guys that they have in the mix. Philly likes to run the ball a lot. They love balls. They love to run the ball a lot. Yeah.
And they were trying to shove it up Kansas City's ass is what they were trying to do. I don't know if you watched that game, the Super Bowl last year. You heard about it?
What's the Super Bowl?
The one that it was the one from last year, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, they were trying to shove it right up Kansas City's ass, and then Kansas City said, no, I don't like that.
No, we don't. We weren't ready.
And then they won the fucking game. Fair and square.
Yeah,
Fair and square.
fair and square.
Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell, week 1. Really, I mean, I don't know, dude. I really like Swift, so it's hard.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. Obviously, if you have Swift, in my opinion, you should be starting him already. But Gainwell's going to get some action. He's going to get some touches, and he potentially could get some goal line touches as well.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say, you think he scores a touchdown?
yeah, I mean that's what I'm going for.
You're
I
banking
think,
on that.
yeah, I
A
think
tutty.
he's going to. Now,
You
granted,
don't think Swift gets a tutty, or do
I
you
think
think
it's
it's possible
going to
they
be
get at least one?
Jalen Hurts
Mm-hmm.
with a rushing touchdown, and I think Gainwell scores one. I don't know. I don't know exactly how Gainwell is going to be used or how Swift is going to be used. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to
It's interesting.
see what happens in terms of usage, but I do believe Gainwell is going to be a guy that's going to come in and he's going to get some good touches. He's going to get some good opportunities. So, and I know Rashad Penny's going to be in there probably in passing downs. I don't know. He'll probably be sprinkled in there too.
Yeah, this feels like the defense that if you're going, if as you know, for a running back going against the Patriots here, Kenneth Gainwell, if he's able to get touches on downs where may not be obvious running situations, he may be the benefactor of that more so
Mm-hmm.
than like DeAndre Swift, who's going to be in there in more obvious running situations. I think Gainwell is probably the better receiver.
Yeah, I think Gainwell is a really talented guy, and I think he's going to get an opportunity this week to show his talent. But I also think one of the big reasons why not only do they love to run the ball a lot, but another big reason why I think he's going to get a bunch of opportunities, and so is Swift, is because I think New England's going to go down pretty quick. I think Philly's going to go up pretty soon. They're gonna start running the ball a lot.
Run away with it early. I can see that.
Yeah, not a big fan of New England this year. So
yeah, it's possible. All right, I'm gonna go give you my second first in. So this is a guy we like this week, Tyler Higbee, tight end from the Rams. And sounds like you mentioned earlier, Cooper Kupp is going to miss week 1 officially. And I kind of like Higbee to be the leader here in targets. I like him to be able to get a red zone look, maybe a touchdown. I think that he could score the most fantasy points on this team. You know, a lot of people are looking at Van Jefferson to see if he's going to be stepping up. A lot of people are looking at the young guy, Puka Nakua, whatever his fucking name is. It's possible that, you know, they come out on top, but I like Tyler Higbee a lot. He's Stafford, when he's been on the field, when both of them have been on the field, has shown, you know, an aptitude to want to throw to him more than some of the others. And so I think Tyler Higbee is probably the play this week.
Yeah. And whenever Cooper Kupp was out last year, he got injured early on in week 10, I believe, and never really came back. So within that time frame, Higbee actually had the most targets on the team. Now, I know Stafford didn't play all those games, but still, he was obviously a big part of the game plan.
Yeah, he's reliable, man. He's a vet. He knows his way around.
Right. He's got some decent separation for a tight end. Got some good hands.
It's a big body.
So, yeah, he kind of boxes out really well.
Yep.
Definitely a tight end I'd like to grab. So,
bro.
What
the fuck did you just say? All right, who's your third guy? First in.
So, my third guy for the first in is Zay Flowers, wide receiver from Baltimore. So, obviously, it's against Houston's defense, but I'm calling it right now. Zay Flowers is going to have over 100 yards this game. He's going to freaking ball out. So is Lamar. Lamar is going to show everybody who daddy is. They're going to make Houston their bitch, and it's going to be a hell of a game. Now, I think Bateman and Odell, you know, they're going to be having some bodies on him and having some eyes on him and stuff. And I think Zay Flowers is going to ball out week 1.
Hmm.
Bold statement.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, Houston's defense isn't terrible on the back end. Petrie
Yeah.
back there. I don't know, but I could see Zay Flowers getting away from him too, finding himself open, finding himself open short underneath, being able to just get him in space, get him the ball quickly, and let him go make a play. He showed the ability to do that in the preseason, and so he's an interesting play for sure, especially against Houston.
Okay, I think he's gonna ball.
Number 3, I got Kadarius Toney. We talked about Kelsey maybe not playing this week. Then it comes out like maybe he does play. I think not Travis, but what's his brother's name?
Jason.
Blanking. Jason. Yeah, I guess his brother was, I don't know if he was on a podcast or what he was on, but somebody was saying that they have the same injury, but I guess Travis's knee swelled and Jason's didn't. Said he would probably play through a little bit of pain, but sounds like Kelsey's saying he wants to play and it's possible he plays. But I think even if he does play, that's best case scenario. I still like Kadarius Toney here. When Kadarius Toney is healthy and on the field with Patrick Mahomes, they use him creatively. We'll see, what the offense looks like with the new offensive coordinator, how they try to incorporate Kadarius Toney, what they try to do with him. But I really like Patrick Mahomes leading this offense, and if there's an opportunity for him to find Kadarius Toney, he's going to do it. And then, you get the ball in his hands and anything's possible. So I really like Kadarius Toney this week.
Absolutely. And I'm
taking him while he's healthy.
Yeah, 100%. He is explosive. If he's healthy and he's on the field, trust me, as a Dallas fan, I know so well how explosive that guy is. Yeah, and I just saw on Twitter just now, or excuse me, X, there's a Matthew Betts on here who said Travis Kelce, his injury is a bone bruise. No, bro, he hyperextended his shit. It's not okay. So that was your third guy. So my last out guy. These are going to be the guys that you really only want to put in if you have to, kind of thing. They're not going to be the worst starts ever, but just don't play them unless you absolutely have to, kind of thing. Just take them out if you can. My first guy is going to be Breece Hall. So he's pretty much going to be on a snap count. Week 1, they're going to be playing it easy with him. He's obviously a really talented back, but I think everybody thinks they have a pretty decent team this year. So, if you want to try to make a run, you can't be getting your star players hurt week 1. So they're probably going to take it easy. There were reports that have come out saying that he's going to be utilized, basically brought in slowly. They don't want to give him too many snaps right off week 1. So I would only put him in if you have to. He has a chance to get some explosive diarrhea or explosive plays. But yeah, sorry to shit all over your team there, bud.
It's all good. I mean, I've tried to take the discount on Breece Hall where I can in redraft.
Mm-hmm.
I think season long, it's a strong play. Maybe early on, you might be right. He might be one of those guys that you may be on the fence about, and you need some good advice. And if you want to bench him and try to go with a safer play, I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about one. It's a nasty situation, worse than anything Amber Heard could do. Colts running back, any Colts running back, just sit him on the bench. Don't even try. It's a messy situation. Zach Moss looks like he still could play, according to some reports. Evan Hall's also going to be getting some touches alongside Deion Jackson. They've said this week, they're going to go with the hot hand. So No secret what their plan is in terms of running back. It's going to be a running back by committee situation, and it's a fantasy nightmare until further notice. Don't try to be cute and throw Deion Jackson or whoever the fuck, Evan Hull, any Zach Mott. Don't try to throw those guys in your lineup and get lucky just because of the absence of Jonathan Taylor. Go ahead and make a smarter play. Don't have those guys in your lineup this week.
Yeah, I have all of them on my bench. All of them. I have every one of them in our 10-man, in our home league. I got every one of them. But they're all on my bench.
It's terrible.
I'm starting Damian Pierce and CMC. So
here you go.
No need for any of those guys.
All right. Just go wide receiver heavy.
Yep, I am for sure. Okay, so my last out, number 2 pick here. We talked about it last week, and we're going to talk about it again this week. Any wide receiver for the New York Giants, because they're all going to they're going to get locked up. Like we were saying last week, I think the only guy who has a potential to do anything, really, in my opinion, is Darren Waller. One of the receivers may get lucky, have a catch here and there, but I mean, your starters are Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell. I mean, it's awful. And Dallas has gotten better in the secondary. They've gotten better on defense, and their defense was already damn good last year. I mean, it's hard to see one of these guys doing much to the Dallas defense. I think the only way the Giants are really going to move the ball is if Daniel Jones uses his legs. Saquon, obviously, got to get him utilized, get him on some screens, on some Texas routes, out routes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, Darren Waller. So those guys, I think, are the key factor. I don't see a wide receiver on the Giants roster that is going to be a key factor any way, shape, or form. So, in my opinion, leave them out of your lineup. I'm going to be right about this. I'm telling you. You may get one of those guys get like a lucky catch or something like that to where they get one play to where they end up getting some yardage. Cool. But for the most part, those guys are going to be locked up pretty much all game.
Well, somebody's going to have a good day, and then somebody's going to come back and say, you dumb motherfuckers.
Whatever.
But the problem is trying to sort out that wide receiver room and know who to even fucking play. You know what I mean? Like, who is it? Who is it that's going to be? I don't want any part of that shit.
Yeah, and you know how many people have Jalen Hyatt and Wanda Robinson on their rosters right now? Probably a lot. But guess what? They're the 4th and 5th guys on the roster. Possibly one of them is 6th. We don't know. Because then there's Sterling Shepard back there. All 3 of those guys I just named, I would prefer as the starters. But none of them are on the starting roster right now.
Right.
They're the backups.
Yep.
Which is wild.
It is. All right, so we're going to hop over and talk about running backs again. 2 running backs that I am not going to play this week. I'm going to go ahead and bench both. It's a shame that I even have to say both. One should be a tough sit, the other not so much. But Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, not playing either of those running backs this week. Pittsburgh going against one of the best defenses in football, San Francisco 49ers. They're tough up front, especially with the addition now of Javon Hargrave. They're tough on the back end. They got good linebackers. This is going to be a really, really tough team. Good defense. I don't see a running back who has been highly inefficient in Najee all of a sudden becoming efficient. Same for, I will say Jaylen Warren, he is incredibly efficient. I just don't see him breaking any big plays against this defense. I don't see him being able to make that happen. So both of those guys I'm going to have on the bench this week against the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, good call. And I know we talked a little bit about that last week as well. So, yeah, still stands.
Yep.
Don't try it against San Francisco.
Nope.
All right. So my number 3, my last out player is actually any New England's Patriot tight end. Don't play him. They're going against Philly. Philly has a really good defense in terms of defending tight ends. They have really good defense in general. Probably a top 3 defense, top 5. Not sure how they're going to use the tight ends yet because it's been uncertain and unreliable in the past. Very inconsistent. Hunter Henry was, Jonnu was. Now we got Gasecki over there. Um, which one of them is going to get utilized more? My bet would be on Hunter Henry, but it doesn't really matter because neither one of them are going to be very fantasy relevant this year. They may have a good game here and there, but I would typically just stay away from them if you can.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would second all of that.
You can second these nuts.
The only thing I would say is like going against Philly, last season they were really good at defending tight ends. Are we worried at all about the turnover? Kazir White no longer with the team. They lost. Oh yeah, Edwards is now gone as well.
Mm-hmm.
So two key linebackers, key players of last year's defense that are gone right out of the middle. Two players
Javon Hargrave.
Might be responsible for covering the tight end, Javon Hargrave. Now we know they picked up, some good additions with adding Jalen Carter in the draft, Nolan Smith in the draft. Still have Hassan Reddick. They still have some guys on that defense. Don't get me wrong, but I'm curious to see how those guys play together this early on. You do have a veteran presence there with like Fletcher Cox and, like I said already, Hassan Reddick and some of these other guys, but there's still a lot of youth that's going to be sprinkled into this defense. So it's going to be some new faces on the defensive side of the football. I am curious to see what that defense looks like this year.
I think they regress a little bit. That's why I kind of dropped it to top 5. I do think they were a top 3 defense last year. They did really well. I think they were number 1 getting to the quarterback last year, if I'm not mistaken. But I do think they take a little bit of a hit, but I still think they're one of the top defenses in football.
Yeah, they're just young. They're just young in places, but they'll get there. All right. My last out person, a third person, is going to be James Conner, running back from Arizona. Again, it's another one of those matchup things. Going against one of the best defenses last year in terms of points allowed against running backs. No Kyler Murray on that offense. Obviously, that's a big hit. Defenses are probably going to stack the box and just try to make Arizona throw. It's possible Arizona goes down big early to this team. I mean, it's not a great scenario for really anybody on this roster, but specifically James Conner. And I mentioned earlier in the show when we talked about Javonte Williams being drafted in the 7th round of one of the redraft leagues that I was in. I just want to point out that James Conner was actually drafted in the 5th round, making him somebody who's probably more likely than not one of your starting top 2 running backs, depending on how you drafted your team, of course. That's not great. No. That is not great. And
not at all.
I know it's going to be a hard sit if you punt it on running back and James Conner is like the best you got. I get it. But man, I'll try to take my chances elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm taking my chances pretty much
anywhere.
Yeah. Anywhere else. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. He may break one off or two, but I think everything you said, you hit it on the head. They're going to stack the box. Washington had the best defense
they got a good defense, dude.
Yeah, and they had the best defense in terms of stopping running backs. They gave up the least amount of points to running backs in fantasy last year. Mm-hmm. So I think, it is what it is. So,
yeah,
in this draft that I did, Javonte went 7-1. Mm-hmm. James Conner went 7-10. So he actually did go in the 7th round. So
yeah, so they kind of float around. I guess it just depends on if somebody likes him. Somebody's probably thinking that, I can get James Conner here. He doesn't have anybody challenging him. Versus Javonte, which, we talked about it earlier. Everybody's like, oh, well, I might just need to grab Samaje. Yeah, you're overthinking it, guys. Overthinking that shit. Bad.
Yeah, and I mean,
bad.
Arizona may be tanking too. I don't know. Oh man. Yep. Well, that's all I got. So
Let me
it's
look real
kind of a
quick.
quick one.
Yeah, what's a quick episode this week? Javante 7-9 in this league, which again could just be really good value. And I know who took him. And then we were talking about oh yeah, P Ryan. I wonder if this same guy's on this guy's team.
Yep. And then this one, James Conner 7-4, Javante 7-9.
I don't know if
So I guess
P. Ryan's
it's
got.
just preference.
Let me go to league players, search P Ryan, find out.
Hello.
He is no. All right, so not on the same team, but
Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. All right. That is all I got, brother.
hell yeah, good shit. All right, week 1, I'm ready for it. Next week we get to come back and talk about who shit the bed, who's gonna get that Amber Heard award week 1. Do we got any predictions on that, by the way? Do we want to try to throw that out there real quick in this last segment? Like try to predict our week 1 people who shit the bed, and let's just stick with a player. Who's a player who you think has really, really high expectations and really, really might not do good?
Let's see. I'm going to go with J.K. Dobbins.
You think it's going to be shit the bed bad?
I don't know. I just don't think he's.
I think you got to be bold here, brother.
Yeah, I got to be bold. Shit.
I'll give you mine. Fuck it.
Okay. All right.
I'll go Dameon Pierce against the Ravens.
You think Dameon Pierce is going to shit the bed?
I don't know, man. If I was going to put my money somewhere, though, why not?
Oh, man.
I mean, he gets 60 rushing yards, no tutties. He's not catching the ball.
60
Last year
rushing
he
yards and
wasn't.
no tutties.
Yeah, that's 6 points. 6 fucking fantasy points. That's shitting the bed.
Okay.
I'm not predicting 6 fantasy points. I'm just saying if he doesn't get to the end zone, could be a problem, especially with the limited upside on receiving that he has from last year. Maybe they get him involved more in the passing game, just because with the ball in his hands, he is effective, but maybe it's a limitation for him. And then he's going against the Ravens. Ravens are a really good defense, man. Like in general, I think they're a good defense. They have good players at linebacker. They've got a couple guys up front. The back end of that defense is actually real good. I don't know, man. We'll see.
Here's my bold prediction.
The other thing about that is, dude, what if CJ Stroud fucking sucks? What if he's complete and total ass week 1?
Yeah.
He just has a fucking horrible game and the defense just smothers him.
I feel like
Which is
that's
something that
happen.
the Ravens, which is something the Ravens can do. They're known to do. With the back end of that defense, it's possible. I don't know. I'm just saying, you want one, I'm going to give you one. That's my pick.
Okay. I think Josh Jacobs is going to shit the bed week 1.
Like the Broncos defense?
I just think that they're going to make them throw. And Josh Jacobs is going to get fucking swallowed up like a fucking a dude in the Navy in Thailand. So.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm trying to be in the Navy and Thailand.
All right. I'm good.
All right. Well, good luck. We'll come back next week and we'll talk about it if we can remember who we who we picked here at the end. We'll see how wrong we were. That's it. Good night. Thanks for joining us. Hope to see you guys again soon.